Hello, time travelers. So we have another ChoroQ, and this is a special one. I didn't even know they made this one. Well, actually, I don't know much about any ChoroQs, so it's really surprising to see what models they've made. But they've been around for 40 plus years, so it kind of makes sense that they would make a lot of stuff. So we naturally have the DeLorean from Back to the Future here. It's spinning with the Chara wheels, which is the Japanese Hot Wheels. It's a really nice better version than regular Hot Wheels. But let's take a closer look at this guy. No original packaging. I had to buy it loose. I'm going to guess this thing's kind of old, but let's take a look at the bottom here. It's nice that they wrote the year. So 2002 is when this one came out, or was copyrighted. Universal Studios. I'm pretty sure you probably could buy this at a Universal Studios, at one of those shops there. So we have a silver painted base here, and then you can see the transparency of the cockpit. So that could be a separate piece. Yeah, I think there's a gap here, so there's a separate piece for the windows. And then I think this hood opens because it looks like there's a gap, right? The question is, how do you open it? Maybe not. Well, after taking it apart, it turns out that hood doesn't open. The marks I saw are actually the melt points to hold the window to the bottom of the hood. But it's weird, it's just the way it's molded. It looks like it's a separate piece, but if it is, it's glued in there permanently. Alright, well anyways, let's continue on. We got some nice headlights here. You got the weird, whatever these things would be on the thing. I don't know. All the little plumbing or the electrical wirings. It's well done. And then you have the flux capacitor. Is that the flux capacitor? I thought it was inside the car. Yeah, I don't know what that is. So for a reactor, you got some vents here in these exhausts, and they do go in quite a bit actually. You got the painted taillights. They're painted orange though. That's kind of weird. Oh, I know the edges are orange, but the middle is supposed to be red. So they just went with one paint process. But I would think it would make more sense to have these red, right, for taillights. So we got some different molding on this side, some like cylinders versus boxes over here. So that's pretty nice that they changed the side appearances. It's just running the standard chromed ChoroQ wheels. So, alright, well, I did a little research, trying to find images of this open, and I couldn't find any. But it turns out there was a 3 set. So this is the first Back to the Future car. And then they have the second and third that have the white biofuel reactor or whatever. Alright, I did decide to do a last minute wheel swap. I always have a set of these Word C alloy wheels, in particular this style. This style of wheel for some reason works on a lot of cars, for me at least. I have these exact same wheels on a Bugatti Veyron and also a Lincoln Continental. So now this third one, I have 3 totally different vehicles and yet it works. So, compared to the Chara wheels, you have the multiple spokes, and I think it's a good fit. I will give you a couple tips if you do decide to get one of these or other Chara wheels. You gotta buy some plastic spacers or some or nuts or something. They don't have to actually be plastic, they could be metal. But these white things are, nylon spacers for, I'm not really sure what, but I just bought them online. And I have them glued into the inside of the rim. And then for the front, it just rests up against the plastic base there. So they do move, just not very smoothly, of course. I also had used a tube to help take up some of the slack in there, so it would have been worse without the little tube that Word C gives you to thicken the axle. Now the back one, for some reason, this metal barrel is longer than all the other ones. So they all have the same amount of spacers. The back I have the same big white spacer, but also a 1mm black nylon spacer. And so that's what I have in the back. But you'll see the original tires are much thinner than this set of Word C wheels. But it doesn't matter from the side view, or really even the front view that much. So just a couple tips or advice if you're gonna, start modifying these ChoroQs. Alright, well, let's get this guy up there alone. Oh, so that's again why I don't like rolling models. Alright. Well, I am happy I got this ChoroQ. When I was a kid, these movies came out, and I watched all three of them in the movie theater. How many people go to movie theaters these days? It's very rare, for me at least, when you can just see everything on your own television, when you have giant televisions in your house now. I guess if you're single and you go on a date and you want to spend $30 to $50 at a movie theater, yeah, sure, you gotta do it, right? But me being an old dude, I don't bother doing that anymore. Alright, guys, well, I will maybe pick up the other two ChoroQs from the Back to the Future series. There's the movie 2 and movie 3 versions as well, so maybe I'll get that trifecta going someday if I can get them at a decent price. But until then, I will see you in time.